In this episode, you'll discover how to recognize real teachers from ego driven gurus and why the best mentor might be the one who tells you to stop following him. Geez. Welcome to Energy Alignment for Entrepreneurs, the podcast helping entrepreneurs be free from anxiety, stress, and tension through balancing emotions and consciousness expansion. Here's three things we'll go through today. Number one, why mentors who need you to worship them have nothing real to teach. Number two, how to recognize if someone is sharing wisdom or just flexing status. And number three, the ultimate teacher test. Did they set you free or keep you dependent? Yeah. All right, we'll begin with the first one. Why mentors who need you to worship them have nothing to teach. Well, I kind of want to take a moment to just zoom out, lay the foundation, and that would be if someone needs any form of validation from you, it's not necessarily the highest of frequencies. Now, there's a place in life for support, for care, affection, humans helping other humans, right? There's a girl who shared something with me, and she said, right, in a healthy relationship, some days one person's going to give 70, some days they'll give 60, and the other person, other days, will give 70, right? It's this vice versa paradoxical kind of openness when you are looking at the depth of the state or the energy being shared in relationship to a mentor who is really like getting too into the followers following him, right? The moment that a teacher is attached to the label of being someone who is the teacher, they lose the power of what they can actually share in terms of real, genuine education, change, empowerment. And so when we take a moment to just feel, then you can see in your life, you can notice who are the people in your life that really embody something that you admire and respect from the bottom of your heart, right? For example, we're on a masonry job right now building a retaining wall residentially. And one of the homeowner, he runs an irrigation company. Bottom line is this dude, he used to volunteer. He's pulled dead bodies out of rivers. He's done things that are just commendable. And you can see it in his family life. You can see it in how he talks to his wife. You can see it in the way that his children are light and playful, and they just have such a beautiful environment due to how hard he's worked and everything that he's done internally as well. So the bottom line is, man, I find myself saying, hey, I didn't necessarily expect to be working 50-hour weeks, but I'm enjoying the masonry. I'm loving it. I'm learning. I'm around great people. I'm making good money. I'm learning new skills. Why do I share that? I share that just to give you a little nugget of, all right, I'm not saying this guy's my mentor, but I'm saying that's what you want to look for in people that you really can learn from is that pure admiration of almost everything they do on all levels. Now, I'm not saying he's better than me. I'm not saying he's higher than me. I'm saying I love to be around people who I resonate with the way that they live their life, right? So, a question you could ask is who are those people in your life and who are they not, right? What are the environments in which you come across these individuals? What are the opportunities that you may have right in front of you that are kind of almost pushing you into a new world? It's not always easy getting out of your comfort zone, having change in life, but that's why you listen to your heart and you notice, like, hey, who are the people that I really want to be around? How do I feel after being around Joe? And this isn't judgment nor comparison, just noticing openly. Just because you may not resonate with someone doesn't mean they're bad. It just means maybe it's not the right time right now. Or maybe you truly don't want to be around certain people. And that's okay too. I think what's not okay is talking about things and not changing. My boss, he made a joke yesterday to one of my coworkers, and he was like, "You've been talking about breaking up with her for a year now." And, you know, and I said to him last night, I said, who do you, out of all the girls you've ever met, who do you love the most? Or who have you loved the most? And at first he said someone different than whom he's dating now. And I was like, break up with her then. And he was like, oh, I thought you meant my first love. And I said, I'll ask the question again. Out of all the girls you've ever met and been with, who do you love the most? And he said, the current girl. And I said, all right, then I never want to hear you speak bad or wrongly about her ever again. That doesn't mean he can't be open with me. I immediately switched to a different tone because and I said, wait, listen, 15 more seconds, listen. And I switched to this tone to let him know that I said that from a place of, man, if you truly love her, your tongue is what's ruining the relationship. If you're complaining, talking bad about her, doing all these little things, but she's who you love the most, you're self-sabotaging that relationship. And with men especially, I have to switch the tone, speak faster, speak deeper, speak stronger. But it's also super important to speak like this too. So, because the spirit needs this, right? Else the man will get too reactive and think I'm like in a battle with him. But I'm not. I just care. I care a lot. So hopefully that story can be applied somehow in some way in your life. I know we went a little bit off topic, but if we bridge it, it's kind of me being real with my friend, like, hey, I'm not your teacher, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have to be your mentor. You don't have to see me. You don't have to like say, oh, that's so right or anything. You don't need to agree with me. But I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. And that's what we have here in this space as well. Now, honestly, I've been listening to a lot of tarot readings lately, and I'm considering opening up a new level of creation for myself. Right now, these podcast episodes, they're not pre-planned, they're not scripted. I just have a rough outline with like bullet points and what I want to speak on. But I'm almost feeling I might just open up my creative energy a bit more. I don't know what form that would take exactly. I would love to get YouTube going. Just let me know. I've been getting so many more listeners lately, and just to give you guys kind of like an update on what we're doing, why we're doing it, where we're at. Basically, this podcast is the hub, the space where anyone, lady, man, any age, you're going to be able to come and you're going to find things that you resonate within the way that I speak because I go through every vibration in terms of like I've been there. I've been there. And it doesn't matter specifics. What I want you to listen for here is just the essence and energy of what is being shared and to be able to zoom out when you listen to me. Meaning, in other words, that you don't come to these podcasts for some specific outcome. You listen to these podcasts because they're helping in some way, in some form, you look at yourself. And what I really urge you to do while listening is to notice what arises in your heart, in your being, in your vessel. Now, of course, you don't have to always be like in this hiking, spacious vibe when you're listening. Sometimes you can just, if you need someone, I'm here for you. And you can turn this on during the day anytime. Busy, working, commuting, whatever. But what I just want all new listeners to know is that I'm here with you. I'm not above you. I'm not below. I'm sharing the work that has changed my life, changed my heart, allowed for tension to just be less and heart to be pure. And this energetic transmutation, it's an art form. You're still going to go through hard things in life. You're still going to have emotions. You're still going to feel very human. That's all part of it. But the enlightening journey of your heart, of your being, it's something that you have to embark on yourself. But it makes it easier when you know that you're not alone in this journey, right? And that other people are walking the path of truth too, and doing everything that they can do to let God work through them, right? And we'll end that on God and I are one, and yet God is greater than I. So when we look at point number 2, how to recognize if someone is sharing wisdom or just flexing status, this is kind of like you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it in how quick they react, how fast they are to change their tone, to almost belittle you, to grip on to the material accolades, labels, or eh, achievements that they have, right? But someone pure, someone really abundant is going to empower you, meaning they're going to share with you what they did um, in some form, in some way that they think it'll help you. Because if someone's done something great, if they're pure, if they're really aligned, if that greatness was and is authentic, then they're going to give back to you. Because the only reason anyone ever gets great is because others gave back to them, right? The only reason I'm here now saying what I can say, being who I am, is because people have invested into me. Whether that be, don't take it too literally, right? We have certain real practical investments where someone took a chance on me. My boss, for example, met him at the gym. He reached out to me. It wasn't always easy. It's not always easy. It's hard. But I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful for him taking that chance to share that opportunity with me. It goes in terms of like Alan Watts and other people I've listened to for so many hours, people who've passed away before I was even born, but they put that out. They shared their genuine self. They recorded it. They took the time to produce it. All of that is this sort of gratitude, right? And when you live from that manner, you can see who are the people that you want to listen to, who are the people that really charge and fuel you. When you recognize if someone's just flexing status, it's very obvious and blatant. They're going to be putting you down, maybe not obviously, but from a unconscious, a lot of the times this is how the spirit and soul works, or the shadow, the ego, whatever you want to call it, the identity, me, everything after I am. A lot of the times how that works is people aren't conscious of what they're doing, right? And that's why Christ spoke in parables and metaphors, and because there is a depth where it's like you can almost feel when someone's operating from the me or operating from God is greater than I, and God's within me, but God is greater than I. You can feel when people are moving from different frequencies and emanations. It happens through the vocabulary, the words, the way that they move, their unconscious tones of voice, their body language, you know, how they look too. But I digress, right? Because we're not here to judge people. We're here to discern. There's a difference. There's a contrast. Um, and that's really what point number 2 is about, is being able to discern, is someone sharing genuinely? Is this a real, authentic energy? Is this person just open, and or is there like hidden intentions? Are they manipulative? Are they using kind of like the dark psychology? And that's why, honestly, for me, I've dabbled a lot, more than dabbled, into sales and cold buyer psychology, running ads, landing pages, sales pages, copywriting, direct response. A lot of this stuff, it's like your offer has to be pure and then the marketing does itself. But for years, I struggled with marketing because so much of it is just psychological manipulation. So you have to like figure out, all right, how do I make this product so good that I don't have to use any weird lower manipulative tactics to actually get this in front of the right people? And that's what energy alignment is. Energy alignment is realizing that the universe does support you in the resources, the people, the connections, the avenues, the softwares. It'll all come to you, literally. But you have to be patient, committed, clear, and kind of like unmovable in your mission. In the work to get to that frequency where you can be kicked, shattered, stomped on, thrown away, etc., and you just don't quit, and you know you're going to win, and you know it's undeniable what you're creating and who you are, then sheesh, I mean, what can I say, right? Hopefully that's clear to you. That type of work, it's a commitment, it's a consistency, it's a continuous reflective process. And bigger than everything, it's knowing that God is greater than you and yet God runs through you. That doesn't mean you are God, and it does mean you are God. The moment that you get tricked into thinking that the lower is the higher, then you've lost, right? That's why Christ said things like, Satan, get behind me. He said that to Peter, his disciple. Do you see what I'm saying? So it takes this level of discernment where you don't care really who you're talking to, where you are, but you're going to be real, genuine, and authentic. And that's how Christ could say that. Because if you look at it, Peter's like someone who looks up to Christ, and yet he just fucking, get behind me, Satan. Doesn't call him Peter in that moment, calls him Satan, right? Because you're thinking of the things of men. So, point number 3, the ultimate teacher test. Do they set you free or keep you dependent? Bing, bing, bing. You know what? I'm going to reflect on the relationship that I just got out of, like, I don't know, a couple months ago, February 28th. On this reflection, I really see that what was happening was I am so much, in not a bad way, just being me. Sometimes I keep people comfortable or allow for them to just glide. And I know that this girl whom I was with, she's meant for more in her life than just gliding. So she needs this. And I have no predictions, no expectations. I still love her. I can't deny that. But that being said, I just say, you know what, man? I am open to what God places in my life in front of me, whether that be a reunion, whether that be someone new, whether that be just space for a bit. But I understand, like, spiritually, on a deep, raw level, it's been priceless for her to be around me. But there comes a point where, hey, if you're not moving forward, sometimes you need little breaks. Sometimes you need things to change for you to reignite. And that's surely been what's happened for me lately. Like, I wouldn't even say we were stagnant or we were complacent. I was working out 7 days a week, working hard the whole time, doing my best. Um, but in your life, I guess I want you to just be able to sit with what I've just said in terms of, hey, sometimes these things that are heartbreaking, that are very difficult emotionally, they do a lot of good for you. And it's just a more specific way of saying what I've always been saying on this place, on this space, is that pain is a purification tool. And it allows you to see through your nonsense, get stronger, and grow. So we're going to wrap this bad boy up. But really reflect upon, are the people in your life urging you to level up? Because if the people in your life, iron sharpens iron, then keep doing what you're doing. Keep on that path. And just stay open, right? Outcast says in one of his songs, everyday ruler cannot be too wrong. Okay? I love you. Thank you so much for listening. Share this with a friend if this resonated with you. New episodes are out Monday, Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Genuinely, the power's in your hands. Do the simple things, all right? The simple things. We'll speak soon. Have a great day.